Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Justice for All. Today, we're getting more testimony from Acro here. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bus. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bus and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him, don't you think? Maybe? I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony. I mean, you really should. How many times have we done this? It was impossible for him to lift the bus and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. Or him or the Ringmaster, because the Ringmaster is pretty severely injured. As in, he is very dead. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? Dots? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. Grr! I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Alright, let's see. I guess press on everything. It doesn't really ever do us any good with him, though. Well, that's not completely true. Have you ever lifted up the bus before? No, I've never actually lifted up on my own, with my own hands, my own two hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this. Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bus before? Pervert. Please continue. So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, he has dumbbells or a barbell next to his bed. Or dips, maybe? Is that what they're called? When you, like, sit on the edge of a bench or a chair and then you kind of, like, just dip with your hands? It's kind of hard to explain, actually. You have your hands on the chair or bench, and you kind of, like, lift yourself off of the bench, a little, forward. Past it, off it, and I don't know how to explain it. And then you dip down and you go back up. I have no idea. This is what I'm trying to explain. The picture's called Tricep Dips to Build Arm Strength. This is what I'm trying to explain here. Because it's like, it's off. I don't know what this is for. It's just, yeah, this does upper body. It's very taxing. Alright? Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain. I gotta get back into the game. Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I mean, don't look it. You're kind of ripped, dude. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope. You don't say. But, no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything. They don't call me Hot Wheels for nothing. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick. Whoa. How did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you'd say that I'm stronger than the average bear. I thought your name was Ben, not Yogi. And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my leg yet. So, okay, so it's temporary paralysis? So you couldn't have thrown that bus out the window. Maybe could have, I don't know. How long do you think it will take? How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation, but it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bus, he would not be able to see out below the window. Okay. Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see up below the window. Thus, there's no way that I would know the location of the headmaster's head. Or ringmaster's headmaster. Have I been saying headmaster the entire time? Not like the episodes, but like this episode? Maybe I just want to watch Harry Potter again. I have no idea. Well, I suppose you got a point. Hey, Nick! Yeah? What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the Ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust. That would make sense. If only I could prove somehow that Acro knew the location of the Ringmaster's head without looking down. Dots. Was it the final statement? I think I already explained things sufficiently. This would be unrealistic. I'll press here anyways, and then we'll look at our evidence. If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. All I had to do was drop it. You're right. I could have done that. However, there's no way that I could have landed a direct hit on the Ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? I grow strong enough to lift the bus. The main problem is how we could have aimed for the Headmaster's head. Ringmaster's head, not Headmaster! I wonder if he uses some kind of tool to aim for the Ringmaster. That's the take it, Nick! Show them what you got! I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits directly into the case. Huh, I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. But maybe we overlooked something? That's why I'm gonna look at the evidence. Crime scene photo, sure. Looks like an X marks the spot. I don't know. The map. Yeah, we don't have... Okay. Maybe the dude wasn't carrying the box. Right? Maybe the box was there. Because I was kind of thinking we would look at this and there would be like an X or something on the ground that we just missed because I'm blind as a bat sometimes. Huh. I mean... we really don't have anything else. What statement was that? That was... oh shit, nah, I went too far. Yeah. I get it. So, not this one. This one? Maybe? I think this is where we had the conversation. We can try it? The music stopped. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the Ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. You're sweating awfully fast. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Yes, hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. It's from my 8th birthday party. I was adorable. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over. The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box there? Who? When Ben and company saw the Ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means... wait, was the Ringmaster actually dressed up as Max? Why? But wait, hold up. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, one second. I'm thinking. I'm assuming... okay, so he drops the bust. Cracks Dumbledore over the head. Knocks the silk hat off? because I guess that's where it came from the ringmaster. And then the cape gets stuck on the bust? Because I'm assuming he used maybe a pulley system then. You can't just drop a bust and then just leave it there, right? Was he not trying to frame Max? For, like, killing Regina? Is this just a huge goddamn coincidence? Why the hell was the ringmaster dressed up in Max's shit? I kind of forgot that they brought that up, and I thought everyone was just being dumb. Like, I thought it was gonna be like some dude hollowed out the bust to wear as a mask so they could murder that ringmaster and blame Max for it. And then they use like a pulley system to get out of there or something. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. This wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. I know it does! The moment that the bus came falling down, and it hurts inside, was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up the wooden box. It was a trap?! Oh, shit! It was a booby trap! So, is that what it was? I'm guessing he was able to stop it from, like... Ah, oh, man. So you lift up the box, it sets off whatever pulley system he had. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought, like, he waited for, like, I don't know why, I could just assumed he could see out his window down and then just, like, drop the thing on him. So you're saying it was just a trap, a booby trap. That is actually fantastic. I just dropped my controller. 1 second. All right, Backstreet's back. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean... If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. Oh, I gotta hug myself. Order, this is unbelievable. Really? Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward! So the next question is, who placed the wooden box at the scene? It was this dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you! Can I, like, choke slam her through the table, please? The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. Give me that whip. Good God, it had the most peculiar feature. Wasn't the box like 20 pounds with nothing in it? Yeah. The weight? Actually, the contents of the box was weird too, right? Wasn't it pepper? Yeah. Okay. The box had remarkable weight. Weight? According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift it up with their... It's 20 pounds. What are you talking about? Look, I'm not trying to boast or anything, but it's 20 pounds! You don't need to do that. You don't need to bend down. Just, bend your knees. And then pick it up, squat down. You lock your knees and you lift with your back. That's how you lift things. Chronos, no, okay, don't do that. That will fuck you up. Don't do that. But 20 pounds is not... I mean, okay, sure. I guess he was a portly older man. But not really. My dad's older than that, and he can lift 20 pounds with one hand without having to bend down with his entire body. Yeah, he does work out, well, not as much as he used to. I mean, age. He's more into cardio these days. But it's 20 pounds, man! If it was 100 pounds, yeah. Hell, if it was like 75 pounds, yeah. And I know everyone's different and not everyone has the same muscle strength, but still. 20 pounds? You're saying you have to squat down and lift with your entire body? Oh, but he was trying... Okay. No, I'm still pretty sure. I don't know, for a matter of fact. I don't even... Back when I was in school, like, only the boys went to the weight room. The girls got the gym to their entire selves, because what the hell, right? I wanted to play dodgeball, but no. The boys had to go to the goddamn weight room and lift weights. And it was a scrawny-ass weight room, too. And apparently my throat's already going, which is bad, because I just started recording today. But I'm pretty sure a 16-year-old girl could still lift 20 pounds with one hand, maybe, depending on the girl. I know some strong girls that kick my goddamn ass. Have more muscle than me. Maybe a 16-year-old, not a 16-pound girl. I mean, okay, that's a different set of problems, 16-pound girl. A 16-year-old girl maybe would have to lift with her body to get 20 pounds off the girl. No, that's dumb. That's 20 pounds. That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. Is it? It fits in my pocket. The box is also carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That's correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Depending on the person, totally sure. Was he trying to kill the ringmaster? Like, I think I brought this up last episode. Maybe he wanted to take someone away from Regina? Because Regina's line took away his brother? I don't know. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be approximately in the same place. I would love to be able to prove you wrong right now when I show up and just lift that box up with one hand and, like, just toss it to the side. You probably break all the contents inside of it. Yeah, but I don't care about the box. I just want to prove to you that I can lift it up with one goddamn hand. Oh, fool! Don't you listen in the Chronos? Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. Are you psychic too? I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Yeah? Of course I remember. It was on the top of the table in the cafeteria. And what happened to it? I only remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I cannot possibly leave the lodging house. You got your monkey to do it! Ha, that means... You're getting an innocent animal who's a kleptomaniac involved in your murder? I mean, another innocent animal already died because your brother was stupid and put his head in his mouth. I may very well have been able to drop it from my room. However, how could I have gotten the bus from the cafeteria to my room? Alright. You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I explained that! Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Human accomplice! That's exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. Suplex, maybe, if she hits me with that whip one more time. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear you explain your explanation. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria? It's like, hey, we're the monkeys? A monkey? Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he sold the ventriloquist's ring. So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, because he's a klepto, and then brought it back home. Okay, so the monkey didn't know that you're gonna use it for murder? Home? Monkey lives in Acro's room. Or money. Acro's room? Who's Acro?
Objection!
But the bus was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Objection!
Maybe you should put the whip down sometime and read the court records. That's pretty shiny. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny. Oh, hug! Acro! Money is a strong monkey, isn't he? I bet it'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. Order! Order! I said order! Ms. Von Kalma! Where's the bus in question at the moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait! Then you mean this bus was the murder weapon purely by accident? I kind of feel bad for Max, even though I don't. I kind of, pretty much hate everyone at the circus. But that's shitty coincidence. It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven our critical fact, or one critical fact, namely that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Oh, yes. Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? I got my license. You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magician or magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Ah. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. Yes, there is. Have you seen him? That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? I mean, I think I already figured it out a while ago, but dropped the bust on his head, which I'm assuming was connected to a pulley system. The goddamn ringmaster was dressed up as Max for some freaking reason, and the cape got stuck on it? Is that what we're going with? And then he pulled it back up so it looked like it was flying, but it's janky so you can tell it's being pulled up? Why was he dressed up as Max, though? He has his own nice coat. Which is in his room, so I guess that is... But no, he's wearing his goddamn coat in this thing, isn't he? Yeah! Nick, don't let her beat you now. She's been beating me this entire game. They won't let me stop her from whipping me. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? Doesn't that make it 3 people at the scene of the crime? Murderer, Russell Berry, and the clown? But also, I'm assuming this?
Take that!
Yes. He saw Max's... I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. The evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Objection!
Au contraire, Montfrey. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he didn't actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? I mean, yeah. The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't catch a cloak to attach a cloak to a bust. It would be easy to hang one from the cards. Did he dress it up as a cloak, actually? No, but the hat's there. Idiot! Who in the right mind would put a cloak on a bust? Doesn't matter who put it on the bus. Just a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bus? The question is of utmost importance to this case. Don't you agree? Doe, you got me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bus? Okay. Alright. It was bad all along! No. Okay. I'm gonna go with my original theory. Because that's the only reason why the hell would he be wearing Max's cloak. Or whatever the hell it's called. Cloak, it was a cloak, yes. And hat. Why would he do that? Does he have a fetish for looking like Max? Maybe. We're not here to judge too loudly anyways. A little bit. It's weird. Fool! Him! You're saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry. That's what I'm saying. The victim himself, placed the cloak on the bus. Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself! Nick, you really had a handle on all this? No. I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint, anyways. Alright, you're kind of right at this point. So, you want to know what really happened that night? Let's take a step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden wooden box. Wooden back? What? Onto the screen. A scene. God damn it. Then he attached the rope to the bust. Then he dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume for some reason! Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house. By none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. It wasn't a trap? You just sat there and waited? And then when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now, this is when the magic happens. At the very instant, the bust hit the victim. Brutal. You just wait a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, that just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting upset. So upset, Ms. Von Calmer. The circus isn't over yet. I wish. What? Yeah, we got another part in this, don't we? We have a whole nother part in this, don't we? Oh my god! The impact of the bus on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. The impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompted him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bus. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Moe saw the bus being raised with the cloak dangling on it. What's it, the cloak and dagger? I don't know why. Primarily, of course, because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. Boom, boom, boom. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above this crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you! Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he's come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. God, I wish they gave me a chance to prove you wrong! Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method, but there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam! That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claim. I want hard proof that you have unraveled that trick to this magic case. It would have to be the hat, right? Right? Because everyone's saying they saw the hat, but the hat was actually at the scene of the crime. But the bust has a hat on it, yeah? Yeah. And we actually just saw it fall off in the goddamn print, like the preview of the murder. Problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in the Mo testimony. The silk hat was one, and the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? No. Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember that what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense, if you look at it that way. Then he did see a silk hat, well, sort of. Fine, you got one, but what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there was no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. This was on backwards. What was that? Please recall the incident when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the end up on the back of the bust? Yeah, I guess, yeah. Sure. I would have said like kind of tucked into the cards, but sure. Hugs! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were never visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Order! Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me, but then again I let a woman whip a defense lawyer in the court and I do nothing about it. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do it, Nick! Then maybe Von Kammer will finally throw in the towel! Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research your circus, didn't you? Well, yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'd understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. The witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude to the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. So we're back at either he did it by accident or he did it to get back at Regina. Like, he did it, like, he killed the ringmaster trying to kill Regina, or he killed the ringmaster trying to get it back at Regina for his brother. Your Honor, I would like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive, Seems this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good time to take a break. I agree. I'll listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. To be continued. Alright, well, I guess on to the second part of the trial. But that will be next time. See you then. Bye.